Welcome back to the Finnish Legacy Nationals of 2024. We are heading to the finals in a little while, but first I want to tell you a little bit of my good friend Joonas Harakka, who is the head organizer of this magnificent event. Welcome, Joonas, to the... I have no words anymore at this point. It's been a long day. Welcome to the booth. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling very well, and thank you for welcoming me here. And as Anttu told, I'm the head organizer for this basically event since the very first Finnish Legacy Nationals that were held on, I think it was like November 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the 5th time that we are holding this event. Thanks to COVID, we missed 2 years, 2 Legacy Nationals, but now we are back on the 5th installment of this series.
And it has been the biggest event almost every year that has been on in Finland.
Yeah, except this year, I think they had this Highlander tournament that was over or roughly 100 players, and we're currently at 80 players today, which is great. A little bit less than previous years, but probably there are multiple factors.
Absolutely on that. What can you tell us a little bit more about the tournament? Like, we are heading very fast into the finals. We don't want to keep the players or the new viewers waiting for too much. But is there, like, how did we get here for the participants?
If I would give like it's kind of a long history, but if I put it like shortly, I think it was the card store who was the first basically Magic store in Finland that sold singles. What was this place called Safe Haven?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was in Helsinki.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the first tournament organizer for Finnish Legacy Champs. So the championship tournament, and that was held back in 2007.
Yes.
Back in 2007, and I think we had at least a couple of players from that event attending today as well, especially my good friend Ville Kaukoranta, and probably some other players as well. And I think our guy behind the microphone or behind the camera is checking those data for me. So how many players was it? Can you want to see?
I don't think there's players, but it is from 2007 for sure.
Yeah. From 2007, and then roughly until 2017, 2019 were the last champs, and they were organized by Poromagia, also in Helsinki. And at the same time, we felt that we wanted to offer the original idea, our original concept of the champs, which were cash prizes, and then the trophy.
Yes.
And that's what we did first time in 2018. And I think then, we got 109 players. And we've been like around that, over 100 players, roughly for all of these tournaments.
Absolutely. And in Finland, we very much call Legacy the people's format. This day, it is a little bit of an outdated
thing, what I kind of heard, it was like this kind of slur for Legacy players, because they didn't have the money to play Vintage. And then it was the like people's format, because everybody would come out of their like caves and play some homebrew deck. And of course now it's more like blingy decks, FPP dual lands. Even some guys have, I think, beta duals and something like that. So
in 17 years, things do change quite a bit, for sure.
Yeah, and basically it's going to be like in a couple of years we're going to celebrate the 20th anniversary of these champs tournaments. So I hope that we're going to have something big planned for that.
I very much hope so as well.
Yeah. But that's how we basically got here. And ever since 2018, this has been like the biggest Legacy event in Finland, held in Tampere.
Yeah, biggest Legacy event in the country.
Yeah.
Biggest Legacy event in Tampere every year. And it has been my delight to have been here every year as well. It has been fantastic.
That's very good. Great, and of course now we can offer something more to the players. We're going to have the invites, actually 3 invites from this event to European Legacy Masters, which is going to be happen in, was it Belgium? 2025 in August.
Yes, very early August.
Yeah,
it was 5th.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be something that I'm interested in visiting as well, even though I'm not qualified for playing.
It's going to be an exciting event for sure.
Yeah.
What else are our players competing for at the moment?
Basically, they're competing for roughly, the winner will take home the trophy, and then he will take home this awesome playmat. This is a little bit different than the one that they are going to actually bring home because it will have the top 8 also stamped here. And this playmat is actually painted by the winner of two-time national champion Juha-Matti Vanhatupa, the guy who won last year and also 2022 with his pet deck 8-cast. And today he was playing Eldrazi.
Yes, he was playing Eloranta Stompy. He was here on the first round that we got to cover.
Yep. And I think he finished at 5 wins and 2 losses, which made him qualify for some cash prizes.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I haven't unfortunately had time to check that.
Yeah, and winner will take home, I think it was 400 euros, and the second will take home 250 euros, and both of the players will be qualified for European Legacy Masters next year.
Which is amazing. This is also the first time that I've been participating in the event where top 8 didn't split the money, top 4 didn't split the prizes either, and I believe that the top 2 are not splitting either.
Yeah, we will see. Probably they are competing for the money, so to have that extra gamble there. About the matchup itself, what are you expecting from the players? Because I think the decks are very similar decks, if not identical to themselves.
Very much so. So both players are playing blue-black Reanimator decks, which basically are a sort of tempo shells with frogs, trolls, but they also include a little bit more of the actual reanimate packages.
Yeah, they're going to have cards like what's it called, the Metamorphosis Fanatic. As kind of pseudo animate dead, and then of course they are going to play animate dead because it's a good card. You don't lose life for it. 4 reanimates, and if we are going to guess, they are going to have pretty much same sideboard plan. So some Barrogoyfs, some Bowmasters, and then of course some amount of Harbinger of the Tides, which is probably not a good card in a mirror match.
That is very much true. Well, I haven't actually seen these mirrors that much. We are going to the game where they have actually went ahead and started the game already, which is very nice. What are the key cards in this matchup? In the mirror, especially.
Yeah, of course, Frog is the best card in the matchup, in the mirror matchup, because it will allow you to get the fatty into the graveyard. Mostly Atraxa reanimation will win the game outright. You will get to see 10 cards. Usually it's like draw 6, draw 7, draw 6, draw 5, draw 4 between that. And we are actually seeing Kari-Matti play a Entomb already. So it's either going to be a very quick game, or then we're going to see kind of a force battle, some force of wills back and forth, and after that it will the game will go so that whoever will land the last threat. And we actually see Atraxa hitting the bin.
Yes, it seems like the first Entomb was Force of Will, if I'm not wrong. Second one does Resolve.
Yeah. Actually, I think it was Thoughtseize the way. The first
Thoughtseize?
Force of Will, yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a ponder.
Yeah, and that will probably mean there will be a reanimation that will dodge a daze. So playing around daze is a key component if you're trying to resolve these game-winning strategies in this matchup. And actually we are going to see it right away because Karma will have the perfect information, and now we will see how Atraxa how many cards he will get.
That is a snap resolve right there, costing Kari-Matti Mäkelä just 7 life, but will net him quite a selection of cards.
Yeah, the first Atraxa I saw today was that it hit 3 brainstorms, 2 fatal pushes, and I think it was like only draw 3, and it was I think from Joonas Eloranta. But I think he still managed to win, so
yeah,
all good.
I was doing the test coverage and I saw Eloranta also get 4 cards, but this time it looks like 5 cards, right?
Yeah, 5 different card types. Animate Dead is the only enchantment, so pretty easy to pick there. Then about creatures, I think it's like kind of split. Probably Brazen Borrower has more impact here in case the opponent lands a troll or something like that.
Oh, they own Atraxa?
But basically the game is over already, because the Atraxa will win the game, if not with the card advantage, then with the Force of Will and 7 powers.
Yeah. Kari-Matti usually gets blue cards for Force of Will, which kind of makes sense, give it a little bit of selection on which one to use later on.
Yeah. Get
in a fetch land, Animate Dead. Yeah, this I would say that this hand makes a lot of sense. Maybe getting Brazen Borrower would have been a little bit better, but I do trust that this is
yeah.
very well
Of
in
course,
position.
Frog is a blue card for Force of Will, and of course there's the possibility that if there is a bounce for Atrax or something like that, that the Frog can nail it home.
Yeah.
Or then discard the Atrax and go again.
That is very true.
Yeah. So Joonas is having cards like Thoughtseize in his hand, which is not a very good card at the moment. Then a copy of Ponder.
I think resolving the Thoughtseize would be the key to getting to comeback situation.
Yeah.
It's not by far the thing that he wants to do, but it
Yeah.
would help out.
Yeah. But yeah, we are going to see Thoughtseize, obviously, so he will know what he's fighting against. And he's probably going for the Force of Will here.
So the question really is, does Kari-Matti have a second counter spell? There's not, but there's plenty of
No.
ways to dig for one.
Yeah, and basically, if Joonas will now have a bounce for Atraxa, then Karma will have the Frog, which will discard the Atraxa, and then have a reanimation in the form of Animate Dead.
Can we check Eloranta's deck if there was actually a clean answer to that? I think he had one Shoot the Sheriff in his main deck.
If it was in the main deck, then it's a good card. If it's in the sideboard, then it's not so great.
He did not have that. It was someone else.
Yeah, but he's going to have the Brazen Borrower, which is basically better than killing the card.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Shoot the Sheriff will be in the sideboard. Same for Dark Betrayal, which is also a good card in the mirror match. It's one mana instant from Return to Ravnica Standard. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's going to be pretty key card in the matchup. And
Getting for some
Joonas is like digging up for some form of answer. Probably he's looking for a way to put Archon of Cruelty into the graveyard so he can reanimate it with his Animate Dead.
That would be the cleanest way to deal with everything on the board that
So
Kari-Matti can
basically
bring
he only needs now is either to have a way to find the Archon to put in the graveyard. So basically the cleanest way to do this will be Entomb. But of course Frog will do it as well.
Yeah. I think the biggest issue here is how Kari-Matti will go for his next turn. He has 3 different cantrips on his hand. He doesn't need to go for any protection creatures for Archon per se.
Yeah, and let's put it so that if Kari-Matti will now draw an Entomb, the game will be over. Because the Archon will finish the game.
Absolutely. That is 7 damage.
Yeah, and 7 life
Yeah.
for Kari-Matti.
From what I understood in this particular mirror match, of course life does matter. Like, you don't want to die. It's a creature combat.
Yeah.
But
Especially you don't want to die when you reanimate a creature. Yeah, and now Kari-Matti is digging up for the...
I think I saw Reanimate or something.
Yeah, he has an Reanimate, which he draw from the Brainstorm, but I think he's going for the Animate Dead.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah. He found a land. And
That land he had already, he got it from Atraxa.
Yeah, that's true.
Getting underground sea.
So nice mono underground sea mana base for both of the players.
I think this is one of the few matches where you can do it very safely. From the sideboards, there can be Harboring of the Seas, which can ruin some things, but I think both players will also play for that.
Yeah, and our great friend from Hämeenlinna, Jakington, has told us in the chat that he thinks this is a live Jasmine stream because he's seen some sexy eye candy. So thank you very much, Jaakko.
We are indeed handsome boys.
Yeah, but Jaakko was too sexy for this stream.
Karma going for the safe roads, just continuing with Ponders, Brainstorms, shaping the hand in the way he likes.
I think this Ponder is pretty much a keep because he has access to Daze and Wasteland next turn.
Yeah.
And Wasteland is going to, especially if he could have Wastelanded this turn, it could have been easily lights out. But I think if we had the favor meter or something like that, or the advantage meter that the Magic official stream sometimes has, I think Kari-Matti is like way on the, like, it's on very much on Kari-Matti's side.
I would say that it is 70.
70, yeah, or 80-20.
Like we see at the moment, it's a shuffle, so there certainly are now some cards that he just doesn't want to see either.
Yeah. I mean, if he could have now gotten the Wasteland into Daze from the Brainstorm, that would have been like awesome, but not anymore from the Daze Ponder. So he's probably looking for either a force of will or something like that. And he got the force of will, so yeah. So I think now the advantage meter tipped to like closer to 95 at this point. So.
I would say so as well.
Yeah, he's probably going to now need a miracle, which he has in his deck. The Manamorphosis Fanatic.
Yeah.
But does it have anything to animate? No.
He doesn't have anything on the bean yet.
Yeah. But luckily, you can cast it instant speed with Brainstorm. So.
But first, you would need to have the creature in the bin, so you need to do something.
Yeah. Well, he got the Endup. So.
Yeah. So that is the first part.
Now it's up for Kari-Matti to decide if he wants to Force of Will the Enabler, or then the Reanimation.
It is a good question at this point.
Yeah, and I think this might be safer in this situation, this specific situation, to let it go to the bin. Because then it will be more tempo effective, because Joonas will have to actually use mana to cast a card. And he actually, I think the safest, of course, is now to play the Reanimate.
Yes.
Which plays around days. But since Kari-Matti has the Force of Will, so basically it's a not so important decision anymore.
And I don't think Joonas had any counter spells on his hand for free.
Yeah, I think it's like 2 Reanimations, Brainstorm, and what's the 4th card? He's flicking cards too fast for me.
He's mastering the art of flicking.
Yeah. Or does he have like 3 animations?
I think there was 2.
2 at least, yeah.
One
and he's going for the Reanimate, which will get Force of Will, yeah.
Yeah. What is he pitching? Is he pitching the days? No.
I think not pitching the days is the safest, because now if Joonas will, pitching the frog is pretty safe, because now we will have days if Joonas has to dig for the answer. So I think it's pretty much lights out at this point.
Yes. Joonas going for the fetch. I am very inclined to say that he will be casting Brainstorm.
Yeah. Of course, Kari-Matti is not winning the game next turn. It's only 7 damage.
Yep.
And Joonas will have 9 life.
Yes.
9 life. So basically it will mean that he will have the opportunity to cast the Animate Dead.
Yes.
Next turn.
So there's still possibilities for Eloranta to get back into the game, which is actually very interesting at this point. Atrax has been on board for 3 turns. I'm not even sure if it... of course Atraxa is the card that you want to get. It is immediate card value that you get.
Yeah.
But perhaps Archon might have been better in the long run. But we can't really say that.
Could be, but then again, Atraxa will net you cards.
Yeah.
But I can understand your reasoning that Archon will actually have an effect on the board when it comes into play. And opponent will, of course, discard, you will draw, and so on. And there is not basically reach in those decks. The only reach is Bowmasters after sideboard and the Archon ETB trigger.
Yeah.
So that is something that Joonas can still lose to if he decides to go for the Atraxa next turn.
Seems like Kari-Matti doesn't have... Either he doesn't have the days, or he's saving it for the actual business spell. Which doesn't sound bad, for sure. Yeah. I think that's very reasonable.
Yeah, they are keeping us really in suspense, because because I think the only thing that will matter now is that if the Animate Dead will resolve in Joonas's next turn.
Yes.
And I don't think he has any cards that can help with that. I think he had a Wasteland or something like that with the Brainstorm.
Yeah.
Which is not a good card right now, because Kari-Matti is of course already in 3 life. Fatal Push a dead card in this situation.
That is
and another reanimation. Okay, so this game is over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to soon have this sideboard in front of us, so we will know what to expect from these players.
Absolutely.
I think these players will have pretty similar sideboards.
I would guess so as well.
But we will see soon. Yeah.
We will see it very soon, what kind of Sisu the boys have.
Yeah.
So this is Kari-Matti sideboard. There's Bargoyfs, Constant Memories, Fatal Pushes, Goes for the Throats, Harbingers Disease, or Bowmasters, and Surgical Extractions.
Okay, so no, we don't see the 1 mana card, Dark Betrayal. So he's going to be not so effective in the sideboard. He doesn't have a 1 mana answer to the Troll, which can be a good card.
Yeah.
But then again, how do you see Kari-Matti sideboarding? Does he take away the combo pieces for the reanimation? Does he have enough cards to bring in? Because of course, Fatal Push is a good card. Go for the Throat is good card. Barrowgoyf is awesome in the mirror match. It will mill you cards, and you will it will draw you basically cards in form of creatures. And then again, do you bring in Surgical?
It is a lot of choices which I think are dependent on the player preferences at the point. Do you want to go for a little bit of a more controlling way? Especially like we are on play and draw situation over here. I think getting Surgicals on draw might be very reasonable, getting rid of opponents' things to reanimation targets so you can play yours more safely. But at the same time, something like Harbinger of the Seas is not something that I would ever play on draw.
Yeah, of course.
Just don't go
and they have the similar mana base, so they can both play the card, so it's probably not going to be a good card.
Yeah.
But I can see that he's going to bring in 3 Barrowgoyf, 2 Bowmaster, and then I think the 3 removal spells, which will mean that he is probably going to cut the Animate Deads, probably the Fanatics, and then of course the big fatties, because they can be a liability, as you saw on first game, that Kari-Matti won by reanimating Joonas's big fatty from the graveyard. So in that sense, it makes sense that you can let the Entomb resolve. So it's going to be probably -4 Entomb, minus reanimation stuff, and keeping in the reanimate because it's a good card overall.
That does sound very reasonable.
Yeah, and they are probably not going to bring in any like cages from the sideboard, of course.
Yeah, looks like it, at least. Here we actually see on the screen Eloranta's full sideboard at the moment. There's just 1 Barrowgoyf, 1 Brazen Borrower, some
1 Dark Betrayal,
Fairy Macabre, which I like a lot in this matchup. Force of Negations, Harbinger Sea, Hydroblast, Orcish Bowmaster, Shoot the Sheriff. A lot of very good cards here for this matchup as well.
Yeah, if you just take a look at the cards that you don't want to bring in, that's probably because it's going to leave still a lot of cards here. So you don't probably need the Force of Negations because it's a card disadvantage, and Consign doesn't do probably enough.
No, I don't think. It is a nice to counter Atraxa trigger, but I don't think either player should have Atraxas.
No, and then Harbinger is, as I said, not a good card in this matchup. Same goes for Hydroblast. So if I get this like correctly, is that Joonas is probably with this sideboard leaning more towards the combo than Karma, who has more like mid-range tempo threats in the sideboard. So I could see that Joonas is keeping some form of fatties there, some amount of Entombs, and just try to get to the like combo.
So I would guess there's going to be Dark Patrol, Shoot the Sheriff. I think.
Of course, very good cards.
And 1 Barrowgoyf and Brazen Borrow. I would see those 4 coming in.
And Bowmaster is good.
Yes. Yeah. How do you think about Fairy Macabre? Especially on play. I think on draw it might be better.
I mean, it could be better than Surgical Extraction because you can cast it actually for 3 mana and be a beater. Surgical is basically you lose 2 life or then you lose the card and the opponent doesn't get to do their stuff.
That is true.
Yeah, you don't have the option to do anything else with the card.
Yes, and a very interesting situation and plays already. That and the sideboards and they go for the first hands.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that their sideboards were built so much different, just on the amount of cards that they were having on the sideboard.
I think, as I was saying before, it very much shows what their preferences are for the deck itself.
Yeah.
Might also be mirroring a lot on what kind of decks they face on their weekly games.
Yeah, of course. I've been playing against Kari-Matti a lot because he comes to our weekly legacy events that we have like actually weekly here. It's not like bi-weekly or once a month. So I think he likes to bring all those like Barrowgoyf to the sideboard game. So I think we are going to see more like fair deck from him post-board, and then probably more like reanimatory stuff from Joonas on the after sideboarding as well.
Looks like Kari-Matti got himself
like a very boring start, only Ponder.
Yeah.
No Entomb, anything fancy, no discard or anything like that.
I would already guess from this that Eloranta will be going for Surveillance.
Yeah, and our long-time follower Jalkington is also telling here that Karma is a peach and I'm all about peaches. So. And next hit, and set go Karma. So.
Mason has very good insights on what Karma will be sideboarding, for sure.
Yeah.
Here we see Eloranta doing the fetch, getting actual underground sea, then cycling the troll, and getting a second underground sea.
Yeah, I think Mesa can have like pretty kind of insight to this because they are teammates and they actually played against each other. We had the last year's qualifier yesterday, and Kari-Matti was also in the finals there. And he actually won the finals yesterday.
That is true. He actually did get the bye. I forgot those things existed almost because we started a little bit late on the stream. But
he went 5-0 and he beat Monored Prison in the finals. Yeah.
A lot of legacy this weekend happening.
Yeah, and now he's in the finals again. So let's see how it goes. And he's actually leading 1-0. So looking good.
So more or less, he's been going something along the lines of 12 wins in a weekend so far.
Okay, so it's going to be Troll, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Reanimating Troll makes sense. Animating the Troll.
And it's going to be Surgical.
Makes a lot of sense.
And I don't think Joonas has a daze. Nor Force.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, actually, there is a daze. So it's going to be probably daze this, and let's see if Kari-Matti has daze.
He does.
And this can be huge because if he has more trolls in the hand, he can get those away from his hand and also from the deck. And since these decks are running low amount of lands, because the trolls are basically fetch land in this deck, so it could mean that he cannot get the mana he needs. But let's see if he has another daze. And actually the Surgical is resolving, so we're going to see 2 Froggers, and then we're going to see a Fanatic and also Fairy Magaburst. So I think I was partially right that he's keeping in more like animation, more like reanimation stuff.
Absolutely. This hand is still, this looks very strong hand for Eloranta still. Kari-Matti will keep at 1 land for the next round, which means that Eloranta has very good chances to get a frog in the play and actually keep it there as well. Metamorphosis Fanatic, one of the more exciting cards.
Yeah, it's actually one of the cards that is like kind of rotating Lightning Bolt out of the format. It's a 2 mana, like 4/4 fatty for 2 mana, and it cannot be like Fatal Pushed or like Lightning Bolted, so you need to have a clean answer to that. And of course, it can bring Troll.
Yeah.
So you will have a 2 mana guy who brings 10 power on board with lifelink.
It's crazy amount of power that it can bring.
Yeah.
Well, it needs a miracle to happen.
Yeah.
But when the miracle happens, oh my.
Yeah, I mean that has been like of course one of the cards that is bringing that deck from like tiers 1 to tier 0 actually. So
yes.
And did we have any Eldritch in the top 8?
We did have.
Yeah, one Eldritch. Yeah. So because I think that these 2 decks were the decks that I was like thinking that would make the finals. But now we have 2 blue-black. So.
Yeah, it ended up going this way when Sneak and Show got rid of our Eldrazi.
Yeah.
And then that Sneak and Show was unfortunately beaten by Eloranta. As we can see from here, we had Moonstompy losing to Stiflenut.
Yeah.
Then we had some Yubei mirror-ish matches happening there as well.
I mean, it was nice to see the tempo as well, because it doesn't have the reanimation package, so it's more like the former Delver deck. But instead of Delver, they are running Tamiyo and the small Tarmogoyf.
Yes. The small Tarmogoyf. Wow.
Yeah, neither Goyf. The 1 mana Tarmogoyf.
Yes.
That only checks your graveyard. And it's still checking out the deck, so Kari-Matti is probably having a good idea what he's running against. So.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Barogoyf, it's the best card after board, because it gets you life, so you don't lose to Frog that easily. And of course, if you have Barogoyf, then you can brainstorm into Bowmasters. You don't have to like think about that so much, because you're going to have the life total. And the big army, of course, is still not big enough for the Barogoyf to beat it. So.
And it can safely go against almost any creature.
Of course. And then usually what I've seen like the deck go through is like they attack with Barogoyf, they mill enough cards to find another Barogoyf, and then you are actually having to deal with 2 Barrow-Goyfs.
All right, Kari-Matti got the Wasteland on his hand, so he can actually even out the tempo just a little bit.
Yep.
All right, that is an island for
Yeah,
Eloranta,
we are going
which
to
is
see
very
the,
neutral.
the game is basically reset so that Joonas will get to start.
Yeah, basically so.
Yeah.
It looks a little bit like Eloranta still has the upper hand, even though he lost a little bit of tempo here.
Yeah. And now I think he doesn't have that many options of getting the like a basic swamp.
Yeah.
Of course, we're going to see the frog here. As Kari-Matti already knows about this, probably not another days here. And what is Kari-Matti having? A swamp in the hand.
Yeah, I think that is one of
Is it the other
his draws.
underground sea as well?
I think so. That looks
Yeah.
like a croc for
Yeah.
Kari-Matti as well, which is a very good draw. He has more
Yeah.
cards than
So it's going to
Eloranta.
be fatal push on the frog. But it's still going to be like kind of hard for Kari-Matti because there will be now wasteland and another frog, and then Kari-Matti has to deal with the frog and then play, of course, his own frog. So
Yes. Eloranta thinking a little bit of which way.
I mean, playing the wasteland is pretty safe, and then playing around days is pretty safe as
Yeah.
well.
Getting a new frog on the table.
Yeah.
Karma going a little bit to the tank, which is very reasonable at this point. If nothing else, there's a force of will from him.
Yep, that's good.
Pitch and Bracing Borrower, which is a good good pitch on this.
Because now there's
on this game.
only Brainstorm and the Fanatic, is it?
I think Kari-Matti now knows exactly what targets Eloranta has. He can make the decision.
Yeah.
Okay, I
now
don't need the
because-
Bracing Borrower
Yeah, of
anymore.
course. And now because Joonas played the Wasteland, he cannot play the Brainstorm into the Fanatic, so Fanatics is taking at least 2 turns. And Kari-Matti will probably have the time now to deploy his own frog.
Yes,
Yeah, and he does it from the basic swamp.
exactly as we saw it coming. All right, Eloranta unzapping. So he has lost 2 frogs now
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, and now we see the situation where the Harbinger could be a good card. Joonas has the island, but Kari-Matti has the swamp,
Yes.
which is actually better for him, but probably still not a good card to sideboarding.
I would say so as well. Tapping the island, that looks like a Brainstorm. I'm not sure if Joonas wants to play it yet. But I wouldn't want that frog to connect at all on the
No,
smash.
no. Basically, when the frog connects, you are always 1 card behind. And it will usually snowball like out of hand. Because it will get bigger over time as well.
That's a Thoughtseize from Eloranta.
I actually like this play kind of a lot because he will actually see what Kari-Matti has. But then again, if he has 2 lands, then this is not so great. Or he can just discard the cards to the frog.
But I would say that this does feel very good for Eloranta either way.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Especially if he has the removal spell.
Looked like there was at least 1 blue spell. No, I was wrong.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good thought because now he got the Goyf.
Yeah, Bargoyf out. There's still a Fanatic, but 6 mana Fanatic sounds like
Yeah,
it will never happen.
Of course, again, the tide can change pretty fast if Karma finds something like Brainstorm.
Yeah.
And then it becomes crazy. Or if he finds a Reanimate, he can just discard the creature to the frog, and then it's like go time again. And the Barrow-Goyf is now, I think, at least 4 or 5 due to the
Yes.
due to the
Land instant creature, sorcery.
yeah, but actually Barrow-Goyf is the only creature right now. So.
Ooh, that is actually true.
Or is there the frog? Frog is in the graveyard.
There's definitely one frog,
Yeah. Okay, so it's a 4/5.
Yeah.
So it still would be for 1 mana. You could get 8 power with lifelink.
That is crazy amount of power.
Yeah.
But then going for Brainstorm after that. Eloranta shaping his dreams.
Yeah, because he found the land. So and now if he has the removal spell, I think he actually put 2 lands on top of the library as well.
That look like it. This fetch land is going to be
Yeah.
invaluable.
So we're probably going to see him fetching at the end of turn for the Undercity Sewers to Serval 1.
Yep. Giving Kari-Matti that 1 extra card from the fog.
Yeah.
I think with the hand it was
Yeah,
acceptable.
it was no, it was the land, so we are still like 1 mystery card. Okay, so that was a good brainstorm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I only saw the underground sea that he put underneath. And
That's-
now it's like Fnatic into Frog with a lifelink.
Fnatic cannot reanimate from opponents.
No,
graveyard,
no, no.
right?
Only
Yeah,
on graveyard, so.
which makes it a little bit more fair, but Frog
Yeah,
with
very fair card. Yeah,
a little bit more fair, let's say it like
yeah
that.
I mean, even reanimating a Murktide would be like okay for that because you get
Yeah.
a 3/3 lifelinker and 4/4 lifelinker. So.
Frog with a lifelink sounds very nasty as well.
Yeah, because basically it's now nullifying the Frog that Karma is playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't see the surveillance
Yeah.
at the end of turn for obvious reason. But now probably we see it from Karma's side.
I would guess so as well.
Yeah, and actually Mesa is posting in the chat that he played a 74-75 list. So
Usually he sides differently as well.
yeah.
Well, again, as I was saying before, because the sideboard also reflects quite a lot on the preference of the player. Even with the same sideboard, the preference can
course.
be very, very different.
Of course, and the content of the sideboard is also different because these players probably have different idea what the expected metagame will be.
Absolutely.
And as you could see that Joonas is like more heavily probably focused on the Eldrazi matchup, which I think he actually lost in the last Legacy event, bigger Legacy event that we had in the top 4. So it's understandable because it's a very good deck and it can actually lock you very easily out of the game.
Beating Wasteland with the Surveilland, getting a new draw.
Yeah,
I think Frog is going to leap.
yeah, it's gonna leap.
That's 3 lands away.
So flying for the end of turn.
Eloranta could make his Frog fly as well. How many cards does Karma have in their hand? 3?
I think it's.
I think they
It
have
is going to be 3 cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
So going for the trades doesn't sound very good.
Yeah. I mean, and the trade is kind of okay still because then Joonas will just hit back with 4 points of lifelink damage,
Yeah.
and the Frog will actually gain him life equal to its power. So,
That is very true.
but he actually took it in. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if they could trade the cards evenly, Eloranta would block every day,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Yeah. I feel like these kind of cards that will bring this kind of mini game to Legacy are not kind of wanted cards in the format because we had Oko in the past, we had Deathrite Shaman, and then we had Ragavan.
Yeah, it's at the same time I do appreciate a lot how deep they make the game. I do like that quite a lot.
Yeah.
Having one card that does dominate the battlefield, like makes everything revolve around itself, is a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But that is the magic that we have today, and we still enjoy playing.
Yeah, of course, and I think it was the same also for the Dread Horde Arcanist, that you were just cantripping through the same cantrip for free, finding the answers. And of course that was even more boring card because it was hitting only for 1 damage.
Yeah.
And
Two cages actually finish up the game.
Yeah. Frogs actually win the game, so faster at least.
There's a surgical extraction from Kari-Matti. I wonder what he is targeting. Maybe the frog?
Yeah, I mean, it's not very good surgical, because now he will just make the frog leap
Yeah.
until end of turn.
This is end of
But he actually
Eloranta's turn, I guess.
I think Eloranta let the frog go.
I do think that's not unreasonable. Looking at...
I mean, still, he could have made just a frog fly.
Yeah. He could have done that, but I think at this point, he feels like getting the extra frogs out of the deck might just be good enough as well.
Yeah.
He is going to get more cards right now. He does have dazes. He does have things to actually remove things.
Yeah. I mean, it could be valuable, but just I think just exiling 3 cards would have been just so low price to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, to make that surgical do nothing.
We will see how it pays out for Eloranta. Survey lived on top. That is very true. Very good observation from Mesa.
Yeah.
For sure. So Eloranta will not know what he will be drawing. Frog will draw him an extra card.
Yeah.
He will go ahead of in the race very fast. Kari-Matti has 2 cards in their hand as well.
Yeah, I kind of also like that there's the possibility that you can just discard your Fairy Macabre to like fuck up your opponent's like the overall reanimation plan, and then you just cast mana for the Fanatic,
Yep.
and then you get the 2/2 lifelinker from the graveyard. So.
Flying lifelinker.
Yeah, flying
which is
lifelinker.
very valuable.
Yeah. Just imagine how good it's against Delver.
Wow. That's why Delver is not very much in the format.
Yeah, not so popular, but I think the Delver decks finished. There was at least one Grixis Delver finishing at 4-3, and
they still have very powerful cards.
Yeah, but I can understand that. Like Dragon's Red Channeler with Delirium, that has to attack against the frog.
That feels very bad.
Leaves and grabs it, so not so good.
We have gone back to Kari-Matti's turn. He is brainstorming.
Yeah, it's looking kind of bad for him at the moment. Especially now that knowing that he doesn't have not so many clean answers against the Fanatic. And the Fanatic is probably not the biggest worry right now. It's the frog.
Absolutely.
And Eloranta is still having the hand of and Daze and a Fairy Macabre.
Yeah, and +2 cards in addition to that. He did play one land, so +1 card that we don't know at this point.
Yeah, I think it's Paul dealt.
Yeah.
So 3 cards total.
And basically, I would say that it's safe to say that Delta is going to be tossed to the frog next turn.
Probably. I think these decks operate so well with the with only like 3 lands, and he already has 4 in play.
Yeah.
And he has actually access to the basic swamp as well. And of course, keeping up the fetch land is also good in case that Kari-Matti draws a Barrogoyf.
Yes.
And then he can revolt the Fatal Push.
That is very true. Lots of very intricate lines.
Yeah. But overall, I think Joonas is pretty much in the driver's seat at the moment.
Well, 2 creatures versus 1 creature tends to do that. Exactly.
Yeah. And Karma is just like holding on to his life right now.
Looks like he has his own Fanatic as well. It is a little bit more annoying as Kari-Matti can't just cast it for free because he knows that there's the Fairy Macabre at Eloranta's hand. And going for it might still not be the worst thing though.
Probably not. Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah, it's hard to see the cards that he has in hand, but we are going to probably see soon if the Fanatic will make an impact on the board.
Absolutely.
At least it will trade with the other Fanatic. How would you say these players will now change their decks for the third game?
I think it depends a little bit on which one goes first. More or less. Eloranta does know that Kari-Matti is more heavy on the tempo play, and Kari-Matti also knows that Eloranta is more heavy on the combo play. So do they actually do any changes on that? They might do like a fake outs, actually do sideboarding, then deciding to not actually do it, like just shuffling everything to the deck and removing 15 cards.
Yeah, that could happen. I could see that happening, of course, and then again, I could see that also it will happen that there will not be a third game because these games are very swingy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So basically, Kari-Matti is just like 1 or 2 answers away from finding the winning board state. But okay, so it's a reanimate for the Goyf, but he knows about the Fairy Macabre, so. I think it's like kind of exercise in futility, but okay.
I think more or less he's making Joonas do things so he can focus on doing something else.
Especially if he has left any copies of Entomb in the deck. So this is a good bait for that.
Absolutely.
Especially if he has now the Fanatic on top and an Entomb that he can play in response to the Fanatic.
Oh yeah, because it's an enters the battlefield.
Yeah, EDBT rare, so it's very good. So I think Joonas went for the Brainstorm and the Barrogoyf.
Both very reasonable decisions.
Yeah, sure. Basically, the other card didn't matter so much because probably the only things that these decks will care about is. Okay, nice.
So there's the Barrogoyf and Fanatic.
Yeah, and another Reanimate.
All right.
On the Fanatic. but he plays against around the days.
Yes.
So this is what I meant, that these games can be very swingy. He already has a bigger frog, and then he has the Fanatic as well.
Oh boy, did that swing quite hard.
Yeah.
He does go down to 5.
Now he just has to survive one turn with the frog flying.
Yes. So he can keep it as a blocker for the next turn.
And I think the Barrowgoyf is still 4/5.
I would guess so as well.
And it's a nice addition that Karma had the lifelink counter for the lifelink creature. He just reanimated. But yeah, I think it sounds pretty reasonable that you get a like Tarmogoyf body creature for 3 mana with a lifelink and death touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then having everything extra on top as we.
Yeah, and I mean you get 4/4 lifelinker and the Tarmogoyf with a lifelink also with 1 mana. So it's very fair.
Absolutely. Joonas got his 3rd card.
Yep.
Very unfortunate for Joonas. He can only pump the frog all the way up to 4 damage this turn.
Yeah.
Cannot finish it right away. There seems to be Wasteland.
Yeah, and I mean this kind of frog math is also kind of frustrating, especially if you have to do it for the whole day.
Yeah.
And just especially in the frog mirror, because you have to be prepared that the opponent will just take out all of their cards in their hand to trade with the frog.
Yeah.
So it becomes like this game of chicken with the frogs. Are you going to do that? Or do you just let the frog hit you once?
And net that extra card.
Yeah, and I mean, and sometimes I could have like, when I played Delver in the past few months, there have been these instances that opponent had like 2 cards in hand. So I lightning bolt the frog. So of course he will discard his hand.
Yeah.
And then I will show the fatal push. And then it was like 2 for 3. So, so of course that's something that the frog mirror can be, or it can be like this. So it's more like the Fanatic has been, of course, now the better card in this game.
Eloranta going for the swing. I think he just doing the 1 damage.
Yeah, I mean he will get a life, he will get a card. So actually 2 life. So it's going to be relevant.
Just 1. He did not discard a card.
Okay, yeah, it's the lifelink counter there. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, of course. So 1 life. But I mean, he's sitting safely at 19 life now.
That is true. Like, he's not dying very fast.
No.
But there is the Fanatic and the Barrowgoyf do pose quite a lot.
Yeah, of course. And of course, he doesn't want to take the Barrowgoyf in if he can avoid that, which I think he cannot right now, unless he wants to just jump with the Fanatic.
It doesn't sound that exciting.
No. But the Barrowgoyf combat damage trigger is just so good. I mean, can we get it on the camera? It's you mill as many cards as you have as the card has power.
Yes.
And then you can just get the creature in your hand, if I just remember correctly.
Yeah. Oh, and here we get an actual Tarmogoyf dice.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Yeah. So it's a 4/5. Yeah. And here we see the full art version of Barrowgoyf. So. Yeah, Death Touch, Lifelink, then the average Tarmogoyf ability, and then kind of a little bit pushed ability. That
A little bit, I'd say,
yeah. I mean, I've also seen Barrowgoyf like played in the sideboard of Doomsday, because once you play Doomsday and then hit with Barrowgoyf, you can mill your entire library of 5 cards.
Yeah.
And then you will just take the Tassa's Oracle and cast it. And of course, it can be also like your plan B, like in this instance.
Yeah. Like we can see very clearly how well these new cards actually do function.
Yeah.
I remember when like all the new Goyfs were spoiled. Everyone was very interested in the 1 mana Goyf.
Yeah, 1 mana Goyf. I think the pre-order
Goyf,
price were like how was it, like 45 euros?
Something like that.
And then the Barrowgoyfs were 7 euros.
Yeah.
So I got my playset for like 850.
Yeah.
And then the Nethergoyfs were like, okay, there's this new deck, Blue-Black Tempo. Of course, it now showed up as top 8, but I think this deck is just, it has more explosive starts. You can actually win control decks simply on turn 2. So it's I think this is like more stronger deck. But of course, as it goes, if you're a good tempo player, you will get more out of the other deck.
That is very true.
And Karma is swinging with the whole team. And as I said, Joonas doesn't want to take the Barrowgoyf hit. So it's going to be a jump block. Actually, he's going to make the Goif smaller.
That is very good play from Eloranta, actually.
Yeah.
So he can actually trade with Bargoif, which is
so unfortunately there's not a creature in the board, so he's going to trade with them. But it will still leave Karma with the Fanatic on board, which is still a big threat.
And Frog will draw an additional card. For
Yep.
Luckily for Eloranta, his Frog does have the lifelink counter, which does matter a lot.
Yeah, it will matter, of course, especially with Karma being like he has now a lot less life still.
Yes.
But I mean that was still a big swing. Like Joonas is down to 12, and Karma will go up to 11.
Yes.
So now we will see that how good these cards really are.
Did Eloranta not gain life from the Fanatic himself?
He gained life, or did he?
I don't think he gained. He took 7.
Yeah.
Which looks correct, but he didn't gain life.
Can we get a chance to check that? I mean, or then it could be so that it's just a tablet on the stream. That is still like different, because I don't see the paper that the players are having there. But I think Eloranta should be, or I mean just the Frog did 3 damage, and then the Fanatic did 4 damage.
Yeah, that's total 7.
Yeah, 7. So he went from 19 to 12, so he should be at 16 from his own Fanatic. Yeah. And now we're going to see if he's just going to discard the daisies. Because even when wastelanding your dual land from Karma, the only thing that the daisy will do is to counter a 3-drop.
Yes.
And I think Karma has already gone through 2 Barrow-Goifs, so there is only 1 more 3-drop in his entire deck.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the confirmation that everything went smoothly. We are just bad at math, so.
I guess so.
Yeah. But luckily we have good luck, so it doesn't matter. And yeah, that is actually a very good draw. A Brazen Borrower, because he can just reset Karma's a Frog, which already has 2 counters on it.
Yeah, I think that is one of the better.
Or then he can just bounce to Fanatic if he wants to win the race. But we will see how it goes.
I think it is actually very
okay.
interesting.
So it's going to be double Wasteland play here. So the Daze is going to be actually a good card.
Yes. I think overall it is very interesting that Joonas has decided not to discard any cards for the Frog so far.
I mean, it's not wrong to play conservatively. Okay, now we see the Dark Betrayal.
Here we go. And there still is the bounce as well. And this is all happening on Kari-Matti's first.
Yeah. Especially now the bounce is good for the 6-drop, because it's not going to be hitting the battlefield again very easily. And I think we are now going to...
Just take
not yet. I think it's pretty safe to take the 1-hit for.
I agree. It doesn't really change what is happening on the board.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah.
And not letting Kari-Matti do things on the main phase.
Yeah, of course, and still, because we are playing with closed deck lists, Joonas probably doesn't know that Kari-Matti doesn't have any Murktides in his sideboard, because he could be also saving it for that.
That is true.
But I think more the Murktide is probably better for the blue-black tempo deck.
I would guess so
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
I think the Ponder is seeing...
Bowmasters.
yeah, 2 of them.
Yeah. Sadly, Bowmasters is not good enough to kill the... There could be a Troll, a Frog, and a Bowmaster.
Yeah.
But sadly, the Bowmaster will not take care of the Frog.
And especially with the amount of mana that Kari-Matti has at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah, and anything basically Kari-Matti now does, even for 1 mana, if he doesn't draw any additional lands, Joonas can just double days.
Yes.
And he will even get more out of his survey land because he can just replay it after days.
Yeah.
Or just discard it to the Frog. That's also nice.
All the good deals.
Yeah.
Passing the turn there.
Sadly, we don't have Gosh legal in Legacy because it would be okay. I mean, it would be awful to just play these like Gosh Frog mirrors.
Imagine, Gosh Frog mirrors with the surveillance happening all the time.
Yeah, crazy. Like flying frogs with gushes.
Yeah, it's like going back to the 2000s when Crazy Frog was a thing.
Our viewers at home are not agreeing with us.
All right.
They apparently don't like skill-intensive legacy.
All right. Then we're Eloranta still going to the red zone with just 1 power. He is such a calm player with this.
Yeah.
Goes in. Actually gets the damage done.
What does Joonas have? I think he drew a Force of Will.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's now pretty safe with his own frog.
Cycling a throw.
Yeah.
A safe bet as well.
So now he can play a little bit around the days, but not around the Force of Will.
Yeah.
So basically, if he wants to take care of the frog, he will now have to find at least 2 answers to it. And does Karma still have any? Does he have still the full amount of fatal pushes?
I do not know. I do see a couple of fatal pushes happening on the shuffle.
Yeah.
At least one of them.
Yeah. So he still has 2.
Yeah.
2 in the deck. They are easier to resolve around the double days.
Hitting for 4 with the Fanatic.
Okay.
Again.
We are trying not to laugh at the comments.
Kari-Matti is winning the race, but Eloranta seems to be winning the war a little bit just with the card advantage.
Yeah, but I think Joonas is playing pretty conservatively because he can now just try to see if there's anything going on with the in Karma's side.
Mm-hmm.
Just playing the Bowmasters. Basically, playing the Bowmasters at this stage is also good because he will then know if Karma has a brainstorm.
Yeah.
Then he has to play that not at the optimal time. Of course, even though playing the Bowmaster is better in response to the brainstorm.
Yes. But just get it into the board.
And of course, it's additional damage.
Yeah, like getting easy damage in already.
Yeah.
You don't. Again, Eloranta still doesn't need to pump up the frog.
Not yet,
So
not yet.
Now he can
Yeah.
still keep jumping with the zombie armies that he will naturally generate, as Kari-Matti has to dig out for the answers.
Yeah.
Instead, going for a little bit more lethal.
Okay,
Finally discarding a card.
Yeah, so he's going to get 2 life. Probably that's going to be it for discarding cards.
Yeah.
So he's going up to 8. He should be at 8 already, or
Yes.
yeah.
Kari-Matti taking 4.
Or are we still bad at math?
Is math related to science? I don't know at
I
this
don't know.
point anymore.
Yeah. We were not bad at math this time.
This time.
Yeah. Unlike Jagiktor's grandmother, mother, she was very good with math.
Excuse me, math.
No, math.
Yeah, it has to be math.
Oh yeah, math addiction. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm bad at reading.
In Finland, we like this mental sport called Sudoku quite a lot.
Yeah, and mental magic.
Yes, especially mental magic.
Yeah.
All right, back to the game. Fanatic is attacking for Kari-Matti.
Yeah. Now I think we're going to see it bounce. Or are we going to see it? I don't know.
I think Joonas should start thinking about actually closing out the game at this point. He has so much things.
Yeah, it's going to be the bounce because I don't think he wants to go to 4 again.
Yeah.
Already going to the adventure.
We are going on an adventure. Fanatic has been bounced, so now Eloranta is. Now the advantage slider is going all the way back to Eloranta.
Yeah, of course. There's going to be the frog.
Frog is fine.
Yeah, I don't think it's that relevant. Of course, the orcs cannot attack.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it at the moment. So Joonas will still net cards. He will net life as well.
Yeah. Funny enough, frog attacking at this point would feel very bad for Kari-Matti as well because the orc army would grow.
Yeah, of course.
Even if it goes all the way there.
And now Kari-Matti gave Joonas his German adventure token. I don't know if it already came up, but Karma's deck is pretty much in full German, except for the revised dual lands.
It might have come out last round when they were playing a German deck mirror.
Yeah.
And here we are, Shoot the Sheriff.
Yeah. So for the foreign viewers, in Finland we basically play with English cards, and then we have these sick individuals who have Japanese cards or German cards or.
I have my deck in full Korean.
Yeah, I mean I said sick individuals.
That is a fine addiction.
Yeah. We also had this local player who had a Spanish standard deck at some point. Yeah.
I think I might have been that player at some point as well.
Yeah, probably. I mean they are cheaper cards usually, so you can save a few euros.
Yeah, that is the best way to say.
Yeah, but of course the best part about European Legacy Masters is that you can play full proxy decks there. They just have to be the proxies have to be Magic card sized, and they have to be recognizable cards. Unlike here, we are very strict that we have to have the basically real Magic cards with some exceptions. Like we are allowed the gold border cards, which I think you saw here in the stream today. I think there were like not City of Traders, but Ancient Tombs here in gold border.
I am already so used to them that I didn't recognize them.
Yeah. And then on the floor, I think, now it's going to be Reanimate 4.
Would it be
from Joonas?
I think it would be a Fanatic.
Yeah.
Just to get a big guy, which will also just get in the bargain.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty good.
Well, it's not losing you 6 life.
No, it's only 3 life, and you will net more life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think on the floor I saw today couple of like collector's edition dual lands. These nice looking black bordered beta style undercurrencies at least, and then of course we saw some nice old school cards like unlimited dual lands, and then of course the best dual lands that Tampere guys like to play with, so the black bordered ones.
So did you just say that the unlimited are basically proxies? Is that how?
No, they are like old school cards.
That is very true. All right, so Fatal Push to the Frog.
Yeah, now it's going to look pretty bad for Karma.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be the Brazen Borrower.
Instead,
and Karma will scoop up.
Woo! That was a game of Magic. Oh,
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah, Karma tried to do his best, but he just couldn't get back into the game.
Can you amuse the viewers for a moment? I need to read just
Yep.
So, talk to them.
No. Okay, so what I'm thinking now is that what kind of changes the guys will do for their sideboards for the game tree, because Karma will of course be on the play, and I think Barogoyf will still be a pretty decent card on the play. Of course, we saw that Bowmasters didn't have that much impact. It's not like in Delver Mirror where it kills the Dragon's Channeler or it will kill the Delver Secrets. But of course, it's a good card in that regard, that if it goes so that players are only cantripping, only attacking with the frog, so the army will grow slightly every turn, and then of course it will deal additional damage. So that's the reach you probably still want to get in the game.
How do you feel about Harbingers at this point?
I mean, both players will have the same access, basically same amount of cards to access the basic swamp, which will be the key to fighting the Harbingers. I don't think it's going to be a good card, even on the play. If Joonas would have, for example, or the other player would have a third color in their deck, and they wouldn't have the basic for that, then I would bring that in. Because, for example, if the other player was playing, for example, Grixis, they are not going to have the mountain there.
Yeah.
So they are locked out of the, for example, the red cards.
That sounds very.
But that it's not going to happen in this matchup.
Yeah. Interestingly, like my thoughts go for Karma siding out the surgicals for this third game. He will be on the play.
Yep.
I
I mean, he didn't see any like fatties from the Joonas' side. So both had fanatics in.
Yep. Both had trolls in.
Yeah. Of course, troll is your fetch land.
Yeah.
Fetch lands number like 5 through 8.
Yes.
And I mean, surgicals could be still cards because both are playing for Reanimate.
Yep.
No matter what. But of course, I think Joonas is a little bit favored in that regard because he will have access to Fairy Macabre, which is not netting, not losing any life, and as said, it can be animated with the Fanatic, which can be relevant.
Yes.
So
there has been some sideboarding, at least for Karma as finals. Because
Yeah, or he's just like doing the trick. But we can actually see that he's siding out the animate deaths yet again.
Yep.
So it might be all like a big illusion that he's doing something.
The classic shuffle everything in and take 50
Yeah. That's actually the only advice that new players will get when they come to Legacy. So how to sideboard? So shuffle 15 in, shuffle 15 out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember starting to do that for quite a long time. Then I forgot how many cards I needed to side out, and after that I didn't do it.
Yeah, but basically.
But that's why I'm not in the finals.
Yeah, of course that. But there are also other factors. Of course, you're not playing today, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
Yeah, but what I mean with siding in 15 cards is that you will then actually have to re-evaluate every card, if it's good enough or not.
Yes.
And you don't do that if you don't shuffle everything in. Because then you can see that, okay, so this sideboard card could be actually good in this matchup. And then you could see that, of course, I don't actually need this certain card in the matchup. And I think for the both players, it's going to be like siding out Archon of Cruelty and Atraxa.
At the same time, I know it is the correct way to play, but man, would I wish that those things would hit the board and dominate everything over there, because it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, like if you talk about like the red-black Reanimator mirrors, they are like that. They are like competing to play the fatty, and then of course those decks can win with something silly like turn 1 Magus of the Moon. So I have seen that as well, but
I have seen that as well while I was still living in the city of Tampere.
Yeah.
Good times were had, bad times were had.
Yeah. I mean, wild things happen in Tampere.
Yes. Both players keep 7. Kari-Matti starts with a very conservative Island Go.
Yeah.
I think I saw Go for the Drought there. I think I saw Frog.
Yeah, I mean, those are like good overall cards here.
Yes.
But we will now just see what kind of start will Joonas have. Neither of the players played any Thoughtseize, which we saw that they were actually good cards.
Yes. Let's brainstorm end of turn for Kari-Matti.
Yeah, because about the Thoughtseize is that I have heard some people make arguments that Thoughtseize is not a good card because you can just discard the cards to Frog. But when you actually do it turn 1, you will get perfect information, and even on turn 2, are they going to actually discard 5 cards for the Frog, or just leave the lands there?
Unlikely.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, it's a bad top deck, but then again, you can discard it to the Frog. So
and as we saw in the last game as well, the players will have plenty of cards in their hand usually in this match, because they want to have the feel for the Frogs, and also at the same time they want to give the feeling to the opponent that I have plenty of answers to whatever you are trying to do.
Yeah. And we're going to see the Surveillant here.
VTF BBQing, will there be wards? Hopefully yes. That has been our plan for the weekend.
Yeah. I mean that's the goal, ultimate goal.
Yeah.
At least trying to re-upload this to YouTube at least.
Yes.
And then add some timestamps there.
Eloranta fetching end of turn for the Surveillant, while Kari-Matti played the Swamp.
Yeah. Did we mention the next year's nationals at any point in time?
We have not. Do we already have
Yeah,
information?
because I mean, first I'm going to just announce that Karma just played the Fanatic there. So it's going to be 2 mana 4/4. Only 2 mana, like 4/4, but still a good card. So there's going to be Borrower there. So not so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I was going to tell you about, especially for the foreigners out there who like this format called, I don't know if you like this, pre-modern.
Yeah.
Have you heard about it?
Yeah, I've heard a couple of times.
Yeah, I actually, when I think about it, I've seen you play this card Stasis.
Beautiful full German Stasis.
Yeah, well, as I said, there are some sick individuals. But yeah, we're going to have the European pre-modern champs here in Tampere. And we're going to have the Finnish Legacy Nationals next year on the same weekend. So we are expecting a big tournament.
Yeah, there's going to be pre-modern, there's going to be old school, there's going to be legacy.
Yeah, old school as well.
Interesting things happening here in Finland next year.
Yeah, and especially for all of you Final Fantasy fans out there, we're going to have the Final Fantasy standard, which is a standard legal set. Those cards will be legal there, and also the Spider-Man cards.
It is going to be very exciting.
Yeah, and don't forget about SpongeBob, nor the Captain America,
Yeah.
nor Wolverine. So
Yeah.
all good, all good.
All right. Meanwhile, while we've been doing some promotion for our next year's events, there's been Frog to the Table, which
Yeah.
had go for the broadcast against it on Kari-Matti's turn.
Yeah, and it actually resolved, so no days from Joonas.
Kari-Matti doesn't seem to.
And he has another borrower.
Whoa. Joonas seems to be getting to the driver's seat on this game very fast. There's nothing super splashy happening, seemingly, but okay, there's going to be surgical to the frog.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like this surgical here, because he will see the exact information
Yes.
Joonas is playing it, and of course he will see that if there are additional frogs, and I don't think he likes to see that there are a fanatic,
Troll.
and a borrower, and also a fatal push.
Oof, and a wasteland. Well, wasteland doesn't really do much. But
Yeah, yeah.
That basically means that Kari-Matti is going to stay at 2 lands
Yeah,
for almost the rest of the game, depending, of course, how long it will actually take.
yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, of course, the bad part now about the surgical is that he didn't get to take any frogs from his Joonas's hand.
Yep.
So it's just like pay 2 life, and then take a look into his hand, and then take the frogs out. But it's not going to be like certain that he will even draw those.
Yeah. Getting rid of the frogs is annoying, but I don't think it is game breaking at the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah. But Joonas will be heavily advantaged here if he will draw a brainstorm
Yeah.
to set up the fanatic reanimating the troll.
Whew.
That is like
That would be the dream come true for sure.
yeah. Last time I played against Kari-Matti, he had actually this on turn 2, so turn 3 actually. Yeah.
Just as.
Yeah, 10 power lifelink.
Did you win?
No, I was like I just flipped 2 Delvers and lost. So that happens.
When Delver flips, aberration is unleashed.
Yeah.
As one Finnish poem once told us back.
Yeah. And I think also, I think it was this Finnish player also playing in the GP.
Ooh, that's
It's a reanimate, so yeah. So that was actually a very good surgical.
Oh, that was very good.
But it's now going to be troll hitting the board. So
Basically, cycle, troll, reanimate.
yeah. So
I'll just go for that.
yeah,
for sure.
but yeah. So that also brings up the question that if it would have been better to just wait with the surgical.
I don't dislike doing very what is the correct word? Aggressive surgical.
Yeah.
I like to play a lot. It does pose some risks, but Frog was such a card in the last.
Yeah,
game.
of course, and but then the question goes again. So, if you were Joonas, would you have reanimated the frog or the troll?
That is a very big question.
Yeah, of course, the troll is 3 turn clock.
Yes, but Frog also gives you all the cards.
Yeah, but the question is kind of interesting because Joonas already had all the cards he wanted in this game.
Yes.
But now we're going to see if Karma actually has another surgical.
I don't think he has another surgical.
Yeah.
He does have. A lot of
Okay,
cards
so
there.
yeah.
All right. Takes that is double lightning bolt to their own face, but now there's 6/5 with
Yeah.
super menace on the board.
Yeah. Luckily, the creature can also withstand 1 lightning bolt. So
Yeah. And passing turn after
Yeah.
playing Wasteland.
I think Karma got now. Was it an N-tube or Thoughtseize?
It looked like N-tube.
Yeah, it was definitely an old border black card
Yeah.
or retro frame, whatever it is nowadays.
I mean, yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's an N-tube. Yeah.
And it's gonna be
Yeah.
a frog.
Okay, Frogger.
Froggy boy.
Do we see the other Brazen Border to hit the board
I
or
don't
the
think-
stack?
I don't think I would do it yet.
Yeah. Oh,
There's
okay.
a fatal push
Yeah,
there,
there's a
so-
fatal push
yeah.
also. Yeah. So Joonas has plenty of options.
He's not in a hurry to deal with that. He has so much mana compared to Kari-Matti. He can take his time a little bit with it.
Yeah.
untapping.
It will actually look very bad now for Kari-Matti.
Yes, he only has 2 turns to actually get
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
He cannot really go for reanimates.
2 turns, and then Joonas will also have the access for the borrower.
Yeah.
So he will still have a clock. There is not so good card.
Yeah, especially on
So he's stuck on 2 mana, and he's playing another frog.
And if there's a need, he can daze, which is
Yeah.
actually fine for him. He gets basically free mana from that.
Yeah, the worst part about the troll for him is that you actually need to have a removal spell or a bounce for that. You cannot block it with only one frog.
3 frogs, still not enough.
Yeah,
They even
I think the game will be close pretty soon because he now drew just Joonas drew another reanimate.
Oof.
So just reanimate on the frog is good enough. Yeah.
That's fatal push for the first frog. Or second frog, really.
Yeah.
That goes to the bin. Boys go in the red zone.
Yeah. And the funny part is that this member was a very good and clean answer for the troll, but now you can't play it because the frog can be 5/6 easily when you just discard a lot of cards.
Yeah.
I think now it will be the game.
Kari-Matti going all the way down to 3. Eloranta going for Reanimator Frog, I guess. Just getting all the options to his table.
Yeah, I think the game is finished now. Or they are just going through the motions, basically.
But of course, at this point, I would go through the motions as well. See if there's a sliver of hope. There's a reanimate. It can animate the frog, but doesn't really do much at this point.
Karma is showing some reanimates there on his hand.
Yeah. This feels like we have a new champion.
Yeah. Unless Kari-Matti has some miracle up his sleeve.
It's no land, at least.
No. I mean, it's kind of bad that there are now basically 3 lethal threats.
Yep. All that need to be dealt with. There's some sweeps. Kari-Matti inside.
Yeah. I think he will just now to die as a state-based action.
Creatures go to the red zone. There's 2 mana for Orgis Bowmaster.
Oh, nice.
Which is
still not good enough. He needs 1 more creature to block the troll.
Yes, and even then the frog still does quite a lot. There's 2 creatures on the board. Looking at the cards in the hands.
Frog flies.
And that is the handshake. And we have a new champion.
Yeah, congrats to Joonas for taking it home.
That was a beautiful set of games. Game 2 was such a long game. A lot of
it was. Yeah, I feel like that Joonas was like on hold, had a good hold of Kari-Matti now for the duration of the 3rd game.
Yes.
And I mean, both players could have deserved the win here. Both are like, especially Joonas is like a long time Magic player, probably kind of newer to Legacy, but has played it a lot.
Yeah, I remember seeing Joonas all the time on every kind of tournament.
Where I mean, he plays all types of Magic. He comes to all bigger events. If it's limited, he will play it. If it's Legacy, he will play it. And I think he has been in the Pro Tour as well, or
I remember.
Yeah, in the Pro Tour. Yeah. So good Magic player overall, and now he's taken down the title of the champion 2024.
That is a good title to hold.
Yeah, and hopefully he will get to defend it again next year, his title.
I'm very much hoping that he will be doing. We will take a 2-minute break over here, so we can bring our new champion for an interview over here. Stay tuned for that. Thank you everyone for watching the stream, and we will continue in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the last bit of Finnish Legacy Nationals. We have a new winner, Joonas Eloranta. Congratulations for the Finnish Legacy Nationals win.
Thank you very much.
How are we feeling at this point of the day?
Yeah, very good. I've been close many times, but nice to finally get the trophy.
Your arch nemesis wasn't playing against you this time. So
usually Juhis has always won me, but we didn't face each other this time, so I got there.
Absolutely. This last round of games, it was a lot of fun to watch. It was very beautifully played through all the way.
Yeah, the second game was very interesting. The first game was a bit no game for me because opponent had the nuts, so-called. So, but yeah, second game was very interesting, and yeah, the third game was okay.
That was indeed how it was. Let's take a little bit of a look for your deck overall. How much have you been playing with blue-black Reanimator shell?
I've been playing it for a long time. Not much lately, but there has not been that many changes. But yeah, I haven't been playing with the Fanatics. Yeah.
Yeah, the Fanatics proved to be very good today, for sure. Getting lifelink counters and everything in the frog for the frogs to you, it basically gave you 5-6 lives on the game to you, even before you pumped it.
Yeah, especially in the mirror, it feels pretty good, and not in every match. It hasn't been that great in many matchups, because usually you don't need it, but in the mirror it's good, for sure.
Absolutely. How do you feel overall about the deck? Does it feel like it is, like you chose it to the tournament? I believe that you think it is one of the most powerful decks in the format.
Yeah.
Do you feel that it actually holds true, that it is the strongest deck in the format at the moment?
It's one of the best, and I really like it in the big open tournaments like this, because it has play against everything. I always enjoy playing with the Force of Wills and the Brainstorms, because those fix a lot of problems.
That is actually very true. Yeah. Going forward, do you have you got now yourself a slot for the Arabian Legacy Masters for next year? Will you be going there? Will we be seeing you in Belgium?
Maybe, I don't know yet, but hopefully. Let's see. I can't make decisions that far away, but let's see.
Yeah, and for today,
Yeah.
I think it's fair for you to say that you deserve to enjoy your win for today. Absolutely. And congratulations once again.
Thanks.
We will be in the stream very shortly. Thank you everyone for viewing the tournament today. Finnish Legacy Nationals have been a blast once again. Tomorrow we will also have Highlander Havoc, 70-player Highlander tournament, which will also be streamed on the same channel. Please come visit us tomorrow as well. We will have a wonderful set of hosts there tomorrow as well. Thank you for all of our sponsors, Stayfile, OMG. I'm absolutely forgetting something else. I'm very tired at this point of the day as well. Thank you everyone for participating, for viewing our stream, and we will be seeing you the next time. Bye bye and good night for now.